Okay, everybody, so welcome back. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. It is currently the 7th of September 2022. And in our private Tiny Revolution uh, co- course cohort for 2023, this is for those of us who are authors, artists, teachers, trainers, coaches, consultants, really anybody who wants to make a oversized impact through tiny products in 2022 and beyond. Getting a lot of questions again about Circle. I know many folks in my community are building course platforms and building content and courses and cohorts and coaching around community, the community model. So I actually just published this PDF, or I updated this PDF with some different options for the right platforms that you might want to pick. And Circle keeps coming back up. I haven't used Circle in a few months. We actually moved our stuff from Podia and Circle to Pathright exclusively, and I'm really kind of focusing on more intimate and smaller audiences with much higher engagements rather than larger audiences with lower engagements, which has kind of been my unfortunate history teaching lots of courses to lots of people. So I decided to start a new Circle community on a trial a couple nights ago. And the reason, and it's right here, and the reason I'm doing that is one, to illustrate some of the very cool new features that Circle has on offer now that I've been gone for a couple months. And two, Circle did just release a really major update, a feature update to their platform, which is coming this month, which is courses, right? So you can now teach courses natively on Circle by the end of September. I believe that's their official rollout date, but it's going to be a very, very cool way of incorporating courses and cohorts and coaching into the larger ecosystem of a community, right? So if you're looking for that thousand true fan sort of ethos and approach to building your brand and business, we are teaching courses to folks who are going through a cohort together, or or an alumni sort of group, or you really want that kind of added interactivity with your courses and cohorts and coaching and content that only a true community experience can offer. Circle's got your back. I mean, this is really going to be a very game-changing, transformative offer or feature for many folks who are using Teachable and Kajabi and Thinkific and those sorts of platforms. I would actually argue that it may actually completely eliminate the need for those sorts of alternatives. I think Circle is really going to take a huge amount of market share from those folks. And again, I'm going to cover some of that when that is live for the world. But for now, I wanted to show some of the things that you can now do on Circle that you couldn't do the last time I used it, which for one, you can change. Well, actually, you can see visually there is a color change here. I'm going to show you in a moment how to accomplish that. I recorded a video that follows this quick introduction that's going to cover the new chat functionality, which you can see here, which is very, very cool. I'm really impressed with it. And some of the other things that you can now do on Circle that you couldn't do before, most notably, make some really dramatic aesthetic or style edits that really customize your brand and your business and your community around what it is that you want to show the world, rather than every single Circle instance looking kind of the same, which I think is a turnoff for those of us who are really interested in making lots of modifications. You can Okay, so there you have it. That's a quick overview of the customization to the styles or the themes that are on offer. You have dark and light options, and then many variations and permutations that you can apply stylistically to the sidebars, the text color, etc., etc. You can experiment with that on your own if you so desire. There's also a for those of you who are not interested in Circle as your software of service of preference or software as a service of preference for your community, I have this a PDF that you can actually download in our community where you can see some of the various other options that are on offer here. And again, there's lots of them. Some are free, some are not, some are more expensive, some are less expensive. They all do pretty much the same cool and creative things. In particular, those of you who are interested in a LMS, a learning management system that offers courses and cohorts and community on WordPress, here are a couple of really good options. You have the Anesta theme here, which is new. I haven't used this. Well, that's not true. I have used it as on a test. I have a client who bought it and is using it quite successfully currently, and I actually trialed their community as a member, and it's very cool. And you can also, of course, use Buddy, Boss, which is integrated with LearnDash, and I think maybe even some other like Sensei or some other WordPress-oriented LMS plugins. So these are like kind of one payment options rather than paying monthly like you have to do for something like Circle. But again, I do recommend if you're looking to build a community, you can check out all these other options. I also added one more here, which is called Outverse, which I just added again in September of 2022. Outverse is also, sort of cool. It's like this block-based Notion style community builder. I let's see if I can get a little closer to it. If I click on this, you can see Outverse. There are things I like about it, things I don't like about it. It's not nearly as developed yet as Circle. I'm not going to log in here now. I may or may not do a video on this later. You can see it's a private community of 809 members. This is their private Outverse community, which I'm a member of. There are, shit ton more people using Circle, and Circle's probably a much better option for most. But Outverse is something to check out if something like Circle is a little bit too much for your needs. Okie doke, if you sign up for Circle using our Mindful Marketplace Partners link, which is below, you can send me an email, mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com. Let me know that you signed up as a Circle member, not as a free trial, and I'll give you access to a course that I'm creating for folks in our community building, how to build profitable courses using the cohort community model very, very quickly with a lot of elegance and ease. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. As always, thank you so very much for watching. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask.